Hey, what's up everybody? This is Richy here, and it has been a long time. We are now on my new computer, back on the old world. I ported it over, and I just cannot wait for what I come up with right here. The last, all those months on that bad computer where I could barely perform, just call that a trial run. Let's see what we do now that we have this amount of power. There is a whole big Minecraft world out there, and I really want to know what we can discover. As you can see from that setting sun, we do not yet have our texture packs, but honestly, I don't really mind. This computer, so far, has just been fantastic. As of right now, we're running smoothly, over 100 frames per second, with a render distance of 20. The one thing I will mention is that color seems just a little bit off. I don't know if that's my screen, or it's you, or just that it's a little bit different and I wasn't used to it before. But down in the descript, you tell me whether this color looks any different and whether you like it, because it's not more vivid, but the color seems richer, maybe. Textures blend a lot more easily than they did before. I think there's a lot more darkness, and I don't know if I like it. Of course, I can't tinker with the settings, or for you, it might not look different at all. So, tell me down below, and I will make some amendments to my color scheduling based on what you've said down there. That was a horrible piece of English, by the way. I don't even know if I should be speaking at this point. I'm sort of out of words. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find a project for us to work on. I'm going to gather up some resources, and I will be right back. And everything is fixed. At least I hope everything is fixed, because I've been messing with these settings for a really long time and haven't had any definitive results. I do think it looks a lot better. I also think that the gamma setting was wrong on my last little computer, and that just made everything look a whole lot weirder for me. I eventually got to settings that looked like my old monitor, and then I realized that the gamma was too high, there weren't enough shadows, and everything was washed out. But this seems good, and while this spruce right here seems pretty dark, it actually resembles a spruce tree far more than the one on my old monitor did. So I'm gonna trust that this is right. My horse, for one, looks a lot more handsome with these new colors, or actually set up correctly colors, and it might be a little bit hard for me to get used to all of this now that my gamma's different, but I think I can. This, and it would have had to before, but that setup right there needs to go. We need to fix that because it looks very ugly, but today we are not going to be doing any of that. Today, we are going to be working on this tunnel down here. You see this blank space all around the edge. It's been blank for far too long. I think we need to add some trees here, some, like, balconies and stuff. What I'm trying to do is merge down from white and blue into, like, warmer textures like green and brown, and maybe a little gray, maybe a little blue. So I am going to log on to my other computer to record a third-person time-lapse. I'm going to get my building stuff, and we're going to do this. Alright, we've done a little bit of work, and this looks seriously amazing. As you can see, we didn't do a time-lapse. I was going to do, like, a little building montage, but it didn't corrupt, but I don't think OBS detected the program properly, which is probably my fault. I just need to get those settings sorted out. But when it came down to it, we just didn't have anything recorded. But we are having some pretty promising progress right here. We made this little tower around the beacon right here. We're making a road with some area punched out beneath it. This, of course, is not done. We're going to close off all of this stuff. We're going to remove the light here. And I think that will look pretty cool and go with the style I'm looking for. And what I'm trying to do here is build ruins. Not just like in a little area like in every empty stone surface. Because first of all, empty stone surfaces, with the exception of stuff like caves right here, which have texture, just look completely ugly, and it would be really cool to put something there. And number two, just having these ruins everywhere adds a lot of depth to the world, and it'll be cool, because I'll make little nooks and crannies everywhere, I'll have hidden things, and, I mean, I really like the ruin style of building. This will, let's take the light out here just to show you guys how it will look. It's not done, of course, but I think it's pretty nice. And we're gonna add structures along this wall in varying age, from, like, fairly old to just, like, completely disintegrating. We're gonna put some trees up here to add just a little bit of green. And I suppose I should work on a little more of that. But I'm very happy about what we've done so far. I think this build is going to be one of the ones where I use a lot of stone brick. And frankly, I am really happy about it, because I have too much of that. But I don't really think we're going to lose too many resources, because we are building this out of stone, and for every block of stone we place in here, we'll probably mine about 20. Progress has been made. Now, this may not look like much, but what I've got done here so far, at least I think, is really cool. I got to do my favorite type of building, which is not even freeform building, but just going around, thinking of things, and then building them. It's kind of hard to explain, but when I start the build, I have absolutely no clue what I'm going to be building, only a vague theme. And what I've produced from that, at least I think, is really, really cool. We have this extended beacon path. I'm going to clean this up a little bit here. And over here we have a staircase that goes up to a room. Now, I might make this actually out of wood, this staircase right here, because it seems to blend almost a little bit too well and make it look just a little bit too square. But overall, I really like it. We also have this bridge right here, just going over and merging these two segments. It's obviously not done, but it looks really cool, and we also have this little room up here. You know what, let's jump up there, because I really like what we've got. Right now, it's just sort of a ripped-out cave, and at first, it looks like a build with a few bone pillars, but if you look a little bit more carefully, you can see that that is far from the truth. And building like this, I don't get to do it often, and I really like it, which is one of the reasons I started this project. This won't be done anytime soon. This wall will stay bare for quite a while, but whenever I'm feeling bored of Minecraft, I can go on here for 30 minutes and work on this. Because it just feels so good to work on a project like this, because you're not thinking about where to place blocks. You're thinking about what it should look like, what things you could add, what is the meaning behind all of these things? Why is there, like, a dragon skeleton right here? Who built these pillars made out of it? And I've worked on this so long, this has almost developed a lore. In addition to all of these things and my constant blather, we also have a door that can only be accessed by an ender pearl. Unfortunately, it needs to be accessed by an ender pearl shot far better than mine. But as you can see right there, we have a little hole in the wall. Can't be walked through, but if we get the purling just right... we didn't get it just right. And, that's not where we're supposed to end up. Okay, try this one more time. Throw a pearl right there. I think that speaks for itself. But anyway, I think we've done just about enough building for today, and I'm getting tired of it, so we're going to finish up this episode with a mechanical redstone project. We are going to build an automatic tree farm underground, and I think we're going to build it on the edge of this corridor. Now, as many of you remember, I got access to just about an infinite amount of TNT in the last episode, and with that said, it's pretty easy to tell how I'm going to make space for this tree farm. Okay, before you finish watching this video, write down in the comments how many things in my base you think I break. I did not think that well out, did I? Well, let's see the damage. Our beacon is still out. We might be missing a few blocks down here. We broke a chest right there filled with stuff. We have plenty of space for our tree farm. It's true. And that was the most irresponsible and fun thing I've done all day. So let's make another double chest right here. I am kind of sad that broke. I hope we don't lose anything. But I'm going to assume we didn't. I'll place this back down right here. Throw all the junk into it. And everything is good. The explosion crater has now been transformed into a cave, and it's not really a bad looking one. I put some grass on the bottom. I'm going to put some more, but right now all we have to worry about is setting up our tree farm. And I'm not going to do an AFK tree farm. I'm going to do a very, very simple design that's come up a lot recently, and I like very much. Basically, all these are going to be filled with bone meal. They're going to be dispensing it rapidly, and we're just going to place saplings down here, and then all the trees will grow at once. We chop them down, they grow up, we do it again and again and again, and it actually produces wood much faster than an AFK tree farm. Now, of course, the advantage of an AFK tree farm is, yes, you can be AFK, but if you go here for maybe 5 minutes, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, you can get stacks and stacks of wood, and that's really all you need. So what I'm going to do here is coat this top in redstone, just like this, which reminds me, I have not yet got my texture packs. I need to work on that. And then we're going to do some fancy circuitry. What we want right here is a circuit that leads back into this comparator with the comparator in subtract mode. Let me get a button really quick. And what's going to happen when we flick this lever on right here is that this signal is going to go through here and then turn off this comparator. And this comparator is going to turn itself back on from this power right here, and it'll turn itself off again. It's kind of confusing, but if we turn it on really quick, you can see it in action. It's a little tricky to explain. I will link my video to comparators down below if you want a little bit of a more in-depth explanation, and we're going to turn that off. This redstone texture is really ugly. I'm so used to my smooth, clean, code-crafted redstone. Even the comparators have spare pixels in them. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do as soon as I'm done recording this episode is go install my texture pack. But for now, well, we're still working on this episode, and I think the only thing left to do is first of all finish this up and grow some trees. And as you can see, we have just a few bugs here, but for the most part, it is done. And look at the amount of wood we've gotten just in this time. We can stand here and mine as much as we want, and then when we want more, we can just place saplings down again and get it all back. And of course, this does work passively. You don't need any bone meal for it to work. So if we're out of bone meal for some reason, I can just leave these here just like this, walk away, and when I come back, I will have stacks and stacks of wood waiting for me. And I have to say this, while I complained about my monitor earlier, I really think its color spectrum is a lot broader than my last one, and because of that, just the colors I'm getting are so much more vivid than they were before. I don't really know exactly what's causing that. Maybe, like I said, it had a broader color spectrum. Maybe my old monitor had gamma too high. I really don't know. I'm not an expert in these things. I just mess around until it looks right. And once I'm used to it, which I am now, it looks amazing. And now, basically everything is complete. Our tree farm is done. We did a lot of decorating in this episode, but there is one more thing left to do. When we built that sky spawner way up there, it got us a lot of resources, but we used up every single existing piece of our iron making it. So I'm going to go mining for 30 minutes. You guys will accompany me in the form of a time-lapse with music, and when I'm done, I'll run back to base and we'll wrap up this episode. And we're back. We've gathered quite a lot of resources. I'm really happy with that mining challenge, especially since it was only 30 minutes. And unfortunately, guys, it's time to wrap up this episode. I feel like we were very productive today, and I'm really happy that I'm finally getting to expand the base. Of course, none of this is permanent. We're going to fix it up. We're going to tweak it as we go along. And this project right here is going to be a slower one. I'm not really going to do any marginal progress on it in episodes. I'll just work on it a little bit every so often, and eventually it'll get done. I'm sorry if this video is a little bit late or anything. The sound or the video is a little bit off in it. I have just got my new PC. I'm still getting used to everything, and I'm running just a tiny bit behind schedule. With that said, though, I think we had a great episode, and I hope you guys think so too. So if you do, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then subscribe. Also, we just hit 300 subscribers. Thank you guys for that. I really love this channel. I'm glad other people like it too, and I really have a lot of fun making these videos. But until the next time, guys, this has been Richy, and I'm out. I'll see ya.